Hi, welcome to the Aussie Backyard Farmers channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed, give me a like, comment and subscribe, and we shall see you in the next one. Thank you. Alright, welcome back to the Aussie Backyard Farmers channel. Just doing a quick update here, or actually going to do a video here on moving this capsicum plant we have over into a larger pot like this over here. So the real reason why I'm doing this isn't really because it needs, I feel, to be potted yet. I don't feel like it needs to be potted just yet. But one of the issues, or one of the things that I've noticed over the last couple of weeks is that this capsicum plant's size hasn't really grown at all. Remember, I use absolutely no fertilizer or nutrients in my soil. I personally don't think it's necessary. It, for me, is like the same use as Panadol. If you've got a sore thumb and you have a Panadol to alleviate the pain, you know, you're going to be perfectly fine without the Panadol. Then if you take it, yes, the pain might go away, you think, 5 minutes quicker than what it might actually. But I don't know, for me, I don't personally think that it's necessary. Yes, I agree that it works. I personally do agree that fertilizer and the nutrients and all that do work, and it do helps to supplement the growth and the production of the plant. But for me personally, I just don't find it necessary to have to use it in the backyard in my garden that I have here. We're not trying to get a meter quota for coals, and you know, I don't need to have 500 kilos for every acre of tomato plants. Anyway, we're going to actually take this capsicum plant that we have here out of its punnet, and we're going to inspect what the roots look under it. I'm just looking around to see if we've got some bucket, because I don't want to get all this mat, this pool lounge sofa covered with dirt. I'll be back in a second. Alright, well, I'm back again. I found this dustpan. This will work perfectly fine. Oh, goes my camera. Fix that camera up. Alright, sorry about that. Camera moved around. So, we're going to quickly take this capsicum out of its punnet that it has right now, and we're going to put it into this larger pot here. You can see the size different in regards to what we're looking at. So hopefully the camera angle is not too annoying. I apologize for the camera angle. I'll try and do something better. When taking these capsicum, any small plant out, the best way to do this is just to give a squeeze around the base of the plant and on the sides. This just allows the soil to be compressed and it to be able to come out of its punnet much easier. Flip it over. I like to put my index finger and my middle finger in between the stem of the plant and then just give it a pop. This is already, soil's already loose, so I don't really need to do that, but there's what it looks like. Be careful not to get the stem of your plant bent or squashed. Flip it over, and then when transporting this, some people say, look, you don't actually need to break up the soil. The roots will grow perfectly fine and it'll be all perfectly fine without it being broken up. This is just a personal preference that I like to do. I like to get the soil right off the roots. I like to give them a shake. I like to get them all loose and separated. And this, for me, just allows the plant to be able to have a new, fresh beginning with roots that, if this capsicum plant was in this punnet and its roots had been compacted because there wasn't actually enough space, you can actually see that the amount of roots and the size of this seedling punnet here, it was perfectly fine in size. It just, I'm not too sure, but it just didn't want to grow. So we're trying to give it another new start here, and we're going to put it into this larger plant punnet container. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the same soil. hoping that this soil hasn't got anything wrong with it. I might actually be able to use some soil that I've got down here and just pop it in. This is a bit of a dry soil, that's the only issue, but look, it should work perfectly fine. Put in probably about that much worth of soil, so there's probably maybe 3 inches of room up the top. Give it a squash down, and then just make a hole in the center here so that you can put the root ball into. Pick it up, try and center it as much as you can, and what I like to do is I like to have the roots sitting up on the outside walls of that little inside dome that I've made, so it sits something like that. I'm not too sure how well you're going to be able to see that on the camera with my fat fingers in the way, but so it sits up something like that. There's a rock in there, so we'll get that out of the way. Chuck it over in the rock pile, and then we'll grab some of this soil in here and we'll just pop it around. Now this way works perfectly fine that I've found. It works perfectly well, and it should grow. It should start to grow quite a bit better now that it's been moved around. This method of moving it from one punnet to another really isn't ideal when your plant has been completely matured. So those tomatoes that, if you have a look in my previous videos, you'll see updates on them. You really don't want to be moving them around. They've matured, their roots are perfectly fine where they are. The size of the containers in those plant containers are actually way too small now. You can actually feel it's very, very compacted on the sides. So that's a bit of an unfortunate thing, but I don't actually have, I think I only have, well, 2 larger size containers here. So unfortunately I haven't got anything bigger. But this is just a quick video of how to transplant a young capsicum seedling from a small punnet to a slightly larger one. I will hopefully in the not too long distant future actually then move this guy into its own larger pot. There goes the camera. Apologies about that again. So we've got this capsicum plant over here as well, and this is in a larger pot. So that's the pot that I've just put, that is the pot size that I've just put this capsicum over here into. So you can see that now this guy's looking quite well. You can see that there's not too much of a height difference. This base here might be quite a bit thicker than this one here, but other than that it does look pretty well, pretty good. I can't remember exactly when I transplanted these from the smaller punnets into the larger ones. I think it was about 2 weeks ago when my brother passed away, but I can't exactly remember. I wasn't really feeling like doing any videos back then, so I do apologize that I didn't get any videoing of that. Other than that, there really isn't much else to do. I am inclined to, when this capsicum finally grows, I don't personally think it's going to be able to grow to the largest size possible, but once it grows, I'm hoping to be able to transplant it and put that plant into its own larger pot as well. But other than that, there really isn't much else I need to do. These are actually, well, yeah, this capsicum here has been about the same size for a couple of weeks as well. So this one here might actually have to be transplanted and put it into its own pot as well. But we'll have a look and we'll assess that later on. So anyway, thank you, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Thanks for watching the Aussie Backyard Farmers channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, comment and subscribe, and we shall see you in the next video. Thanks guys, have an amazing day. Bye for now.